Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with part 6 of Orders of Universal Reformation by Manly P. Hall. Maier, Randolph II, Emperor and King of Hungary and King of Bohemia, developed quite a penchant for celebrities in his court at Prague. Titillated with great names, His Majesty was given to obscure learning, dabbled in alchemy, and invited the Dutch astronomer Tycho Brahe to cast his horoscope and introduce him to the theory and practice of judicial astrology. It was only natural, therefore, that Randolph should summon Maier, a man who had made all knowledge his province, to add further luster to the Randolphian constellation. The emperor was so pleased with Maier's gentility that he promptly ennobled him, bestowing him the title Fosgraf, Count Palestine, and appointing him private secretary of his royal person. It is not usual that scholars addicted to the Hermetic arts receive much consideration from historians or biographers. These somber chroniclers reserve detailed explanation for respectable and conservative scientists, theologians, and politicians. Even the date of Maier's birth is not known with certainty, but it is established that he was born in 1568 at Rendsburg in Holstein, of a substantial if not noble family. He seems to have graduated in medicine from the University of Rostock, but never settled to the somber practice of this profession. Maier developed an early interest in alchemy, but his motives were scientific rather than mystical. He was not especially interested in manufacturing gold for his own use, but he certainly was intrigued by the chemical problems which alchemy suggested. Like many seekers after the secrets of the divine art, he was imposed upon by pseudo-adepts who had discovered that the simplest way of making gold was to extract it from the purses of the gullible. Nothing daunted, our Fosgraf recovered from each deception and turned with a deeper resolution to discover the substance of the magnum opus. It was not until after his visit to England in 1615 that Maier emerged as an apologist for the Rosicrucians. In general, his defenses and explanations were similar to those of Dr. Flood. In 1617, Maier published his Silentium Post Clamors. In this, he emphasizes, without actual proof, that the manifestos of the society were genuine and authentic. Those who would approach the rose must first bear the cross. The brothers of RC, for some reason, doubtless good and sufficient, failed to answer the numerous letters and pamphlets written to them and for them. But after all, many are called, yet few are chosen. Doubtless, the worthy would be accepted after 5 years of probation. If the Rosicrucian order chose to remain silent after the stir caused by its manifestos, it followed the example of the philosophical institutions of antiquity. Maier was of the opinion, however, that it would be better if the society revealed its purposes more clearly, thus solving the reasonable doubts of sincere persons, including his own. The following year, Maier launched another small volume entitled Themis Aurea, The Laws of the Fraternity of Rosy Cross. This is largely a series of commentaries on the 6 rules of the society, as originally set forth in the Fama and Confessio. The treatment is wordy and non-evaluating, but there are a few cryptic statements indicating that Maier may have become part to some facts. The Reverend Dr. Craven summarizes the contents of the book thus. In the Themis, the Brethren of the Rosy Cross appear merely as specially amiable and virtuous medical practitioners who, having either by tradition inherited or by devotion and a peculiar astrology discovered certain medicines, are ready to treat the diseased with these. Gratis, out of love to mankind. They, too, appear as possessing a certain strength of moral virtue, a natural religion which makes men whom they counsel and befriend noble and virtuous. In short, they are merely a society of men, very laborious, frugal, temperate, secret, true. Themis Aurea by Maier, an anagram. Maier explains that the princes of the world have their hand seals, so the brethren of RC should not be deficient, and ingenious persons are invited to examine and interpret this, their device. Count Michael continued to include references to the Rosicrucians in his later writings, of which Verum Inventum is the most important. This book summarizes the contributions of the German people to the progress of society in general. The last section is devoted to Germanic discoveries in chemistry, and the Rosicrucians are introduced as meriting universal esteem. Maier again stresses the actual existence of the brothers of RC, quoting his own previous works as proof. The brothers have sacrificed their own comfort and happiness to advance the arts and sciences, and their society is the very asylum of piety. About the only information we have on the life of Maier is supplied by the publication dates on his books. Some modern scholars opine that he never found any genuine Rosicrucian adepts, and finally established a society of his own, which he advanced as the genuine order. But this seems inconsistent with the obvious sincerity of the Count's nature. None of his writings, however, indicate that he suddenly came into any profoundly esoteric knowledge. It is possible that he was initiated in the closing years of his life. Maier died in 1622 in the Lutheran faith and was known to have practiced extensive charities. He died peacefully, certain of the resurrection. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.